Dipper and Wendy burst out laughing between shoving popcorn into their mouths, the room dark save the light from the TV. Wendy's father and brothers were away for the weekend, so she'd invited Dipper over for a sleepover. "Man, these old B-movies are a riot," the older girl said, reaching down for another handful, only to grasp air. She looked down and saw the bowl was empty. "Oh, shoot, we're out." Dipper looked, then smiled. "Hey, no worries, I'll go get some more." "Don't be dumb," Wendy smiled back and stood up. "You're the guest, dude, let me get it." She chuckled and walked out with the bowl, but paused and looked back. "Why don't you decide what we watch next while I'm gone? Make it entertaining." Alright, I will." Dipper smiled and waved as she left, and once she was gone he let out a blissful sigh. This was great. Sure, even if she didn't feel the way he did about her, it was great to just spend time with her as a friend. How sentimental. Dipper froze. Slowly he turned to the TV, seeing an all too familiar eye staring back at him. "Hey there, pine tree. Long time no see." Yet despite his friendly greeting, his tone was dripping with malice. Dipper quickly jumped to his feet. "No, no way. You're gone. We got rid of you," he yelled, pointing accusingly at the TV. Bill rolled his eye. "Yeah, that you and your lousy grunkles did," he said, inspecting his nails. "But turns out even if you erased Stanley's mind, you still remember me. And that's all I actually needed to come back." He looked at Dipper, his half-brow furrowed in annoyance. "Course, that means I can't actually act outside your head." Dipper smirked. "Oh yeah? Great. That means you can't threaten anyone. I mean, what can you do inside my..." Bill's look had suddenly become a lot more menacing, like a wolf watching a rabbit blunder headlong into a trap. "Well," Bill said slowly, "what can I do in here? How about this?" He snapped his fingers. Instantly Dipper felt himself pulled up onto his tiptoes, arms spread out at his side. He grunted, trying to pull himself back, but it was like his arms and legs were held in place by invisible chains. "Hey!" he yelled, struggling against his unseen bonds. "Let me go. Everything okay up there?" Wendy's voice came from downstairs. Dipper gulped and turned to yell for help, but he suddenly felt fingers gripping and molding his lips. "Everything's fine," his own voice called back. "Just making things entertaining is all. You take your time." And then his lips were clenched shut, silencing his attempts to scream. Bill let out a haunting chuckle. "Oh, and entertaining it will be." As Wendy made her way upstairs, she realized the light to her room was on, and girly pop music was playing. Knowing she didn't own any music like that, she couldn't help but chuckle. Sweet tunes, Dip. What, did you bring one of Mabel's CDs or some? She froze in the doorway, dropping the bowl of popcorn. Her eyes widened, and she brought a hand up to cover her mouth. Dipper stood in the center of the room, his feet in a pair of black pumps that were way too big for him with his legs wrapped in her control-top pantyhose. He wore one of her old prom dresses, a strapless sea green number with thigh-high slit up one side. The dress was designed for her lanky frame, which meant the skirt trailed along the floor on Dipper's smaller body. Underneath, she recognized the straps from her favorite bra, the cups overstuffed with socks to the point he appeared bustier than she was. Bangles on each wrist, the fake diamond clip-ons she wore for formal events, and the kind of clumsy makeup job one could expect of a 13-year-old boy completed the look. In one hand Dipper clutched a hairbrush, using it as a microphone as he tottered around the room in a vague attempt at a girlish sachet. "Ooh, girls do what we like, ooh, I'm taking over tonight." At the right moment, Bill's control vanished and Dipper stumbled in the high-heeled shoes, tumbling to the floor. That was enough to snap Wendy out of her shock, and she stormed over. "Dude, what the hell?" she snapped, standing over Dipper with her hands on her hips. "This is your idea of entertainment. tarting yourself up in my things and making fun of me. Not cool, man. Dipper gulped, looking up at her. But his words failed him. How the heck could he explain Bill was back after being erased? Unfortunately, Bill chose that time to take back control, and he adjusts Dipper's skirt in just the right way to accidentally reveal. Oh my God! Wendy shrieked, her face flush with anger and embarrassment. You're wearing my favorite panties too. Dipper's mouth hung open and closed, desperate to find any excuse, but none came to him. He just hung his head in defeat. Wendy fumed and stomped over to the door. You know what, Dip? I think you should leave. She swung it open, glaring at him. Don't bother getting changed, since you like my clothes so much you can keep them. Not like I'll be wearing them after today. Dipper slowly staggered to his feet. He tried to plead his case, but Bill's grip made his throat tighten up. So he just hung his head and wobbled to the door. Wendy's eyes nearly rolled out of her head as she grabbed him around the waist and carried him downstairs. You know, I thought you'd be smart enough to at least pick a pair of flats if you can't walk in heels, man. She flung the front door open and dropped him on her doorstep. Good night, Deborah. And with that, she slammed the door shut. Dipper's legs trembled as he tried to keep his balance. What could he do? He couldn't head home like this. What would Grunkle Stan and Mabel say? In the back of his head, Bill's voice laughed. Dipper watched as his hand reached into his bra cup and took out a tube of lipstick, running it smoothly over his lips. Come on, Deborah, Bill's voice cackled. Let's go find some boys.